Wayne, go ahead. Wayne.
Namo Fundamental Teacher Sakyamuni Buddha, Namo Fundamental Teacher Sakyamuni Buddha, Namo Fundamental Teacher Sakyamuni Buddha. The unsurpassed, deep, profound, subtle, wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. Now that I've come to receive and hold it within my sight and hearing, I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual meaning.
Okay, thank you. All right, we quickly do 1 minute meditation together, then we will move on. Yeah. So keep our back straight, our neck straight, close our eye, inhale and exhale to the nose. You count 1, inhale and exhale to the nose, you count 2, don't hold your breath. If you see your monkey mind, just go back to your inhale and exhale. And if you lose track of your counting, just stop from 1. Don't just do inhale and exhale naturally. Okay, thank you. 1, 2, 3. Okay, keep your back straight and sit still. All right, thank you. Okay, we will move to this. Last time we learned about, we have been learning about depression, right? And also we know that psychologists, they have 3 different methods to deal with depression. So the first one is the anti-depressant medication. The second one is psychotherapy. That means we come and see the psychologist, and that they're the one who train the patient to, I think it's express their hidden feeling. And they train that. Doesn't mean that they will give the medication. Okay. The third one is, I think the third one is the best. It's called the cognitive behavioral therapy or cognitive therapy. So the cognitive, whenever you hear the word cognitive, it's related to the thinking, the thought, right? So they know that nowadays, the psychologists, they know that all the mental disorder problem come from the thinking, the negative thinking. That they be able to identify that. And they do many different studies. And in here, we already learned about different studies, right? Among these 3 different methods. And we know that the the result of the study is we saw that the cognitive therapy is the best, right? That is the best medication, and that is the best solution. So and also the most cost effective, right, for the healthcare cost is very cheap. Because when and also they using they call it self-help. Self-help is a part of the cognitive therapy. What do they do? Self-help. That means it's the professional, right? That means the psychologist. They can use the self-help manual. It means the copy of the feeling good, the book of feeling good. And what is the book of feeling good? It's basically in that they have the guide how to help the patient at home. This is the homework that the patient needs to do the homework every day. Maybe they meet one a week, right? And before they come to see them, and they at home they will using the menu to help themselves. What is the feeling good book do? It's basically they list out all kind of negative about 15 different type of negative thinking. They call it cognitive distortion. Okay? And each one of them, they will help the patient how to deal with those kind of negative thinking and help them to convert them into positive thinking. That is the most important of all. So that's very important. If they be able to help themselves, it's much better than they before they come and see the doctor. This is how they speed up the recovery process. It become very quick. Um, and the two old method, that means the medication as well as the psychotherapy, they do have problem. That means that even though they be able to help the patient to recover, but later on it will relapse, right? That means the patient will go back to depression again. But the self-help or a part of the cognitive therapy is that method be able to help the patient not only recover and also they do not go, it will not relapse in the future. That means the patient will not go back to the depression in the future, and because they have the self help menu. That's important. So today we will, Becca, do you understand so far? I just quickly summarize what we have learned so far.
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Oh, so you recognize all this terminology, I guess?
Yes, I had it in class this semester.
Oh, so it's a good review for you.
Yes.
Let me introduce Rebecca. Can you introduce yourself to everyone?
Do you want me to turn my camera on?
Yes, sure, please do. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Becca Marie. I'm a graduate student at IU Southeast, and I took a class with Dr. Dot this semester, and he suggested that I do this as well. So,
Dr. Dap, it means the venerable the Reverend Tang Dap. That's my teacher. He's my teacher. He's the professor of University of Houston as well as the University of Indiana, right? You come from the University of Indiana. Can everyone turn on your webcam and introduce yourself quickly? So thank you. Can you turn your webcam, everyone? Thank you. Okay, Tammy, you go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Tammy Riley, and I also attended IUS several years ago. I got a undergraduate degree in accounting and finance there, and then I continued on and got a master's in business administration and a master's in strategic finance. So I spent almost 20 years taking night classes there. Wonderful school. I am a mother of two. I have a 6-year-old son and a 2-year-old daughter. And I was working in I was CEO of a HVAC company for 8 years. And I left that company back in July of 2020 during the pandemic to stay home with my children. I found the temple at the beginning of 2020, right before the pandemic hit. So the temple here in Louisville, Kentucky. And I began taking meditation classes there and then joined the Dharma classes, which have been extremely beneficial to me and my family during this time.
So you joined the Dharma class for how many months or maybe a
Yeah,
year already? Right?
almost 2 years now. Almost 2 years
Oh
now.
wow!
Yeah.
So did you gain the benefit from it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's immeasurable how much I've gained from it. These classes are just wonderful, and they've helped me learn so much and grow a lot.
Good. Okay, that's good. That's good. Thank you for your introduction. Okay, Serena, I think you are new here, and introduce yourself.
Hi, I am Sabrina. I'm only a freshman in high school at the moment, and I kind of just came here through from my mother. So,
Okay, thank you. Heidi.
Hello, my name is Heidi. I'm audio issues. I'm currently I'm enrolled into the graduate program at Purdue University. I'll be starting classes in the spring. I'll be in the MPH program. I got introduced to this class through my parents as well.
Thank you, Victor.
Hi, I'm Victor. I'm a sixth grader, and I found out about this because my parents just made me do all these Zooms and stuff. So just
I
letting you
hope, but you do enjoy, right? Do you?
know. Yeah, I do enjoy it.
Okay, that's good. Hân, con turn on your webcam con. Hân and Quyên. Okay, Hân, go ahead. Okay. Yeah.
I'm Hung Nguyen and I'm from seventh grade, and I was here because of my parents.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry. Hân.
I'm Hung Nguyen and I'm in seventh grade, and I'm here because of my parents.
Okay, good. Bé Quyên, go ahead, Bé Quyên.
Hi, my name is Quinn, and I'm currently a sophomore at Elsik High School.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for introduction. Actually, we have a few. They are absent today because I think it's nearby the holiday, and they skip the class. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh yes. Mẹ của Aaron. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
My name is Han Young. I didn't change the name. Is my 6-year-old who's a student of thầy Thích Giáo Pháp. I have two boys. Oh my gosh, they really overwhelm me daily. One of them just turned 9, and the other one will turn 7 this coming February, and they take classes from both thầy giáo Pháp and thầy Hằng Đạc, and after school program. And I learned about this class from thầy giáo Pháp. So he had reminded me the last 3 times, but I kept forgetting, because of the pandemic. And I'm so terrified going to the grocery store, but I have to go early. And so when I received the reminding from him, I'm standing at the checker trying to pay the grocery, and I couldn't make it home on time. So this is my first day of class, and I look forward to it.
Okay, thank you for your introduction, everyone. So we will continue on our study. So basically, we went through a lot of section here about different study, right? And they do comparison about 3 different methods. This is important. When you understand it, the reason we need to understand how the psychologists are dealing with the depression. Once you understand it, you'll be able to help yourself, you help others. This is important. Because sometimes help people by helping using the material or the money, it's temporary. But if you can be able to help them to recover from the mental disorder, This is the gift that you give it no money can buy. This is one of the best gifts you can give. Yeah. So no money can buy that. All right. Okay, we continue on. Let me see. I think we. Let me quickly review this thing here. Yeah. Okay. So, do you see this? Do you see this thing? The PDF, right? The big the present inventory.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, last time we learned about they do the researcher they experiment on they have 80 patients and they divide into two groups. The first group is they are first 40 patients. They are giving the copy of feeling good, the book of feeling good. Okay, at the beginning. So they call the immediate bibliotherapy. What is bibliotherapy group? It means that bibliotherapy. It means that this is the feeling good book. That is the menu for the patient at home. They can use it, and they can every time they have the negative thoughts, right? They be able to open the book, and they can be able to help themselves to transform the negative thought into positive thought. That's important, very important. So this is the first group. So the second group is basically what they did is they delay. They do not give the book, the copy of Feeling Good book to the group until after the 4 weeks. Okay, then they call this group is delay by bibliotherapy group. So, and the comparison come out. So what is this thing? And they using this one right here. This is the chart for them to give to the patient at home, fill out every day. They self-score and they rate themselves. And for example, today I do not feel sad, or I feel sad, or I feel sad all the time. I cannot snap out of it. Or I am so sad and unhappy that I cannot stand it. So the patient have to circle one of this every day, right? The second group is, no, this is the second one. I am not particularly discouraged about the future. I feel discouraged about future. I feel I have nothing to look forward to. I feel the future is hopeless and that thing cannot improve. So they circle which one. This is represent for the score. Okay, this is represent for the score. And the third one is they do the same thing. I do not feel like a failure. I feel I have failed more than the average person. As I look back on my life, I see a lot of failure. So this is all kind of negative thoughts. So which one is belong to you? The patient will circle it. Okay. I get as much satisfaction out of things as I used to. I don't, okay, whatever. I don't feel particularly guilty, and then I feel guilty a good part of it at the time. So on and so on. All this thing here. This is claim to yourself. This is you punish for yourself. I feel disappointed, right? And this is about, I don't feel I am any worse than anybody else. I'm critical of myself for my weakness or mistake. Okay, so they all this kind of thing here. I don't cry any more than usual. I cry more now than I used to. I cry all the time now. I used to be able to cry, but now I cannot cry even though I want to. So this is more critical than this one. If we can be able to cry, that's even better. But if we cannot be able to cry and and that's even critical. I am no more iterated by things than I ever was. I slightly more iterated. When you iterate it, that means we are easily triggered by other people to get angry, right? So we have to be very careful. I have not lost interest in other people. I am less interested in other people, right? And keep going. I make the decision about as well as I ever could. I put up making the decision. That means the people who depressed, they cannot be able to make the decision. So if they be able to recover, that means they be able to make the decision for themselves. I don't feel that I am look any worse than I used to. Okay? Okay? I am worried that I am looking old and unattractive, right? I feel there are permanent change in my appearance. Okay, all this thing here. I can work about as well as before. It takes an extra effort to get started at doing something. I am, okay. I have to put myself very hard to do anything. I cannot do any work at all. I can sleep as well as usual. I don't sleep as well as I used to. I wake up 1-2 hours earlier than usual and find it hard to get back to sleep. That means they have a hard time to sleep, right? I don't get more tired than usual. I get tired more easily than usual. Than I used to. I get tired from doing almost anything. I am too tired to do anything. That means no motivation. Okay. My appetite is no worse than usual. My appetite is not as good as it used to be. My appetite is much worse now. I have no appetite at all anymore. I have lost my weight, if any, lately. I have lost more than 5 pounds, more than 10 pounds, and 15 pounds, so on and so on. I am no more worried about my health than usual. I am worried about physical problems like age, pain, upset stomach, or constipation. I am very worried about physical problems, and I think it's hard to think of much else. I am so worried about my physical problem that I cannot think of anything else. I have not noticed any recent change in my interest in sex. Okay, keep going on this thing here. So basically, in here, what you see is this is the score. That means the patient every day they will fill out that thing, right? And they will look at the score. If 1 to 10, that means 10 or less than, that means it's normal. Okay. Sometimes you do, even though it's normal, but sometimes our emotion up and down, so it's okay. It's still considered normal. That's fine. 11 to 16 consider mild mood disturbance. If it keeps continue persistent for a while, we have to look for someone to help us. Okay? 17 to 20 is a borderline of clinical depression. And that means this is even more mild. This is more mild. And this is moderate. That means even higher. And this is very severe. And this is extreme. When you in this category, we need to get help from the professional. Okay. Okay. Otherwise, we're in big trouble. Right? Okay, this one is similar, but a different kind of the Hamilton's rating scale for depression. They also rate themselves. Okay, they rate themselves. Okay. Now look at this, and we learn about the 2 different groups, right? The first group is we call the immediate bilateral therapy. This is the one that who received the feeling good copy, the book of feeling good at the beginning, right? And the second group is we call the delay by Leo therapy. They are not given the copy of the feeling good during the 4 weeks. Okay, so they will they will give the book after the 4 weeks. Okay. Um, so at the beginning, you see that the initial, right? They are the same. That means they are very moderate in depression, right? But after the 4 weeks, you see that the group who received the treatment, that means every day the researcher or they will call the group, right, each individually, and they will walk them to for how to use the book and also how to do the rating, self score for themselves, and they see that this is very significant improvement. They go down to normal. You see that? They are normal. Only after the 4 weeks. No medication at all. Nothing. Right? Only train them how to deal with the negative thought and turn into positive using the feeling good book. That is the most important about. You see that the second group, right? They do not receive the feeling good book at the beginning. So that means there's no treatment at the beginning. So after the 4 weeks, they still the same, almost the same. They're very less, right? Not it's about few percent recover. Okay. This is about 70% recover, and this is only 3% recover. Okay. After the second, at the beginning of the second after the 4 weeks, right? This group also received the book of feeling good. Okay, the book of feeling good. And you know what? After the 3 months, you see that this is almost the result is incredible. It's very almost identical, right? They are normal, back to normal, and this one right here too. So this is 75%. This is 73% recover. It's wonderful. So it's wonderful. No medication involved, right? And nowadays, you know what the psychologists what they do is they use the combination of the two. The combination of the two, that means psychotherapy. That means meeting the psychologist at the office, and each psychologist will recommend the patient to using the feeling good book for their homework at home. So this will help them to speed up the recovery process. This is important. This is very important. Right? Heidi, you understand so far, Heidi? I guess because last time you missed the class.
Yes, I understand.
Okay, good. That's good. So, and they also said in here, the two old tradition, that means the medication as well as the psychotherapy without cognitive therapy. It means that the dropout rate during the 4 week or during the 12 week or whatever, you know what? The dropout rate for them is about from 15% to 50%. From 15% to 50%. That's a huge rate, right? And that's a very huge. So it's a lot. But for the cognitive therapy, it's only less than 10%. You see that, Becca? You see it? It's wonderful. So, and also the cognitive therapy, it's the patient do not relax. That means they do not go back to the depression when they get out. But the other two methods, they do. And it's not a long-term solution. Okay, so it's important. And the cognitive therapy is similar. They are. I will show you the Buddhist psychology in the near future when we come to the point that where we learn the different type of the cognitive distortion. That means that the different type of negative thinking. Okay, then that's important. We go into that. Okay. Okay, that's good. Okay, I think I got all this thing. In the chapter 1, we will learn more into to see the mood disorder. I think it's we go in here. So we learn the first principle of the cognitive therapy that your mood are created by the constant. That means that the thought, right? That means all the mood or the mental disorder. And keep in mind, we have to remember. Yes, depression is the mental disorder, but doesn't mean that all the mental disorder is depression. No, that is not true. Okay, we have to be able to distinguish that. Depression is the mental disorder, but not all the mental disorder is depression. Okay. Okay. And remember, due to the thought, right? Usually, the event when something happened to us, right? The event is not the problem. But the problem, it comes from the way we interpret it, right? The way we interpret it and the way we believe it. That makes us depressed. Does it make sense to you, Tammy? Right?
Yes, because we start seeing ourselves as that we are the event, or that we caused the event, or we start reliving that event all the time without realizing it.
So let's say that because if a person who are very sensitive, right, who are very sensitive emotion, anger, right, and once they hear someone say that anger is not good, don't let your anger control you. And when they talk to the group, right, and the person who very sensitive to this, and they thought that that person, they talk to them, to him, to her, or to him, and that's why he or she, the one who have a habit of anger, they interpret it. Oh, this person tried to talk behind me or talk to me. He tried to criticize me, and that's why he get even more depressed. Does that make sense to you, Becca? So this is important. So we have to aware of our own thoughts. Don't let those thoughts control us. Right? We are the owner of those thoughts, and we should be able to guide our thoughts. Right? So that's also very important. This is the first principle of the cognitive therapy. That means the mood is controlled based on the way we interpret it. Okay? The second principle is when you are feeling depressed, your thoughts are dominated by pervasive negativity. Okay, you perceive not only yourself, your entire world. Okay, so when we are negative, whatever you see, it's always negative. Doesn't matter, right? Whatever we see, it's always negative. But when we are positive, when we are optimistic, right? Even though we live in the environment of negative, do you think that we will become negative? Rebecca, what do you think?
I think did you say if you're negative environment, but you're positive, will you become negative?
Yeah.
I think you'll stay positive.
Yeah, that's important because we are the one who make it negative or positive, not the event, not the environment. For example, when we live in the family, right? Sometimes the family matter, they do have the conflict. It's normal, right? It's not a big deal. Yes, sometimes it's very tough, but if we have the positive thought and we know how to take dealing with things in the positive way, we can be able to make the big deal become the small deal. Small deal become nothing. You see, that's important. Later on, well, because on Sunday class, I teach the bodhicitta. What is the bodhicitta? Bodhicitta, that means the motivation to benefit the living being. What are the motivation? The loving kindness and compassion. It's the motivation to help us to benefit others. And this thing dealing with the negative environment a lot, but with the positive mind. And you be able to make things peacefully. When you know how to generate your bodhicitta. And on Sunday class, tomorrow, I start the first section on that class. And this will be a 6-month class. And this will become a very beautiful teaching of the Bodhisattva. The Bodhisattva path in the Buddhist way. Okay? This is called the Mahayana teaching. This is how we can train our mind to become optimistic and positive. Once you be able to train your mind, doesn't matter what kind of environment we're in, we should be okay. And we not only change ourselves from negative into positive, we also change the environment as well others. But we don't enforce on those things, on those people. We don't. But we live as the role model, they will follow us as the role model. That's the most beautiful. Okay? Because this thing in the Vietnamese class for the many months already, the bodhicitta. So I will translate all those things into English, and I will walk you through step by step. And this is one of the beautiful teaching from the Mahayana. Okay. Pekka, do you understand the difference between Mahayana and Theravada? You do not.
No.
Okay, let me quickly give you an overview. So, in Buddhism, we have two main traditions. The first tradition we call Theravada. It means that they are the most conservative. That means whatever the Buddha teaching, they always keep the same. They don't want to change. They don't want to what do you call liberal, right? They are not liberal. They are very conservative. They keep every single word. They're not willing to change, but sometimes, you know what? Because things can be different from the environment, from the culture, when you go from one country to the other. Yet the Buddha teaching is not changing, but if we open mind, we can learn even more. But we are not open mind, you cannot be able to learn more. You only within that circle. Mahayana is different. Theravada, they are more focused on their own practice for their own benefits. But the Mahayana is more focused on our own practice as well as benefit others. This is important. And this is where the bodhicitta come in. That means the motivation of benefit others. It's based on the motivation is the loving kindness and compassion. And that's why the class will help us to develop this too. Okay, this is important. And we are very liberal, but we also follow the Buddha teaching very strictly. Okay, and so this is more interesting. I just give you briefly on that. So you can go to the website and you type in Theravada, and Mahayana. Okay, and you can learn that later on. Okay, let me go through it. Okay, the second principle is when we are negative, things will become negative. When we are positive, things become positive. That's important. Okay. The third principle is the substantial philosophical important. Our research that the negative thought which cause our emotion more nearly contain good distortion. Okay, got it? Yeah. Okay, so basically, when we have the mental, when the cognitive distortion, right? That means the thought become very negative, the feeling become negative. But if you see, let me see. This is a little bit different than Buddhism. Buddhism, they have two directions, not one direction, two directions. Okay, let me remember. This is 53, right? 53. Okay. Let me go here. Okay, let me walk you through here very quickly. This is in Buddhism. This is the Mahayana, the consciousness in Mahayana tradition. Because the Theravada, they have only the first six consciousness. Okay, the Mahayana we do have all eight included the two. Right. Okay, when you see that, the first five consonants, that means the eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue, the body. And each one, they have its own sense object, right? The eye, the object of the eye is the form, that means the physical form, right? Could be the flower, the house, the mountain, whatever, right? It's a material, okay? The ear, you can listen to the sound. It can be any kind of sound, right? The nose, you can smell things, right? The tongue, you can taste whatever, right? The body, you can touch, right? So when our eye, right? Let's see, when we see okay, you know what? When we reading, right? When you reading, you focus on your reading, right? That means our eye contact the reading information, right? And automatically it will create the eye consciousness. The eye consciousness, that means at this time the eye cannot be able to distinguish things. They do not. They only see the object, but they do not know what is that object look like. They do not know. Okay. And the eye consciousness, just like the camera, it will take the picture of all the information we are reading, right? It will send to the mind consciousness, that means the brain. Okay. Remember, in our nervous system, right? In our nervous system, we have the brain and the spinal cord. The spinal cord runs from the brain, from the head, all the way to the backbone, right? And the spinal cord, what they do, they carry all the communication, right, from the brain to entire body. What are the communication? We call the nervous, right? The nerve, right? The nerve will connect from the brain to entire organ inside the body. That's why the brain be able to control the feeling, the sense, the movement. That means the hand when we move, right, up and down. When we walk, when we sit, they are the nerve. That means the brain control that. That means the brain send the signal to the nerve, to the nerve, to the organ. Does that make sense to you? Right? It's so important. So that's why the eye consciousness will send the reading information object to the nerve, to the brain. That means the mind consciousness. And the mind consciousness, what they do is they will load those data into the short-term memory. This is important. And now the data become available for the mind, the brain to think, to contemplate, to analyze, to plan, to visualize, to whatever the function of the brain can do when you have the data on the short-term memory. And from this thing here, now the mind consciousness will inform the eye consciousness be able to distinguish the information in the short-term memory. So they do know, okay, this is the information I just read, right? Okay. So far, so good? Okay. And the mana constant, when we're talking about the mana constant, it means that we are talking about the 4 different cells. They are the cell, they call the self-centric, right? Self-centered, self-centric. That means the ego, more like ego, okay, in the Western world, okay? But in the Buddhist self, it's more than the ego, all right? There are 4 different types of self delusion. It means that our body in Buddhism, when we define the body and the mind, right? The body and the mental, there are 5 different aggregates, right? They are, okay, let me 5 different aggregates. Let me do this quickly here. Can you see my notepad? Right? Okay. Right, aggregate. I mean the form, right? The feeling, perception, mental formation, okay. Form, it means the physical form, right? It comes from 4 elements: the earth, the water, the wind, and the fire. Form is impermanent. They are not permanent, right? It's impermanent. That means it's not us, right? It's impermanent. Feeling, usually we say that, okay, usually we say this body is mine, but it's not mine. You know why? Because the physical body is impermanent. If it's mine, that means it will not change. It will last forever, but that is not the case. Does it make sense? And usually we also say that feeling is mine, right? Feeling is not yours, because feeling it also change, right? You have 3 types of feeling: the joy feeling, I mean the pleasure feeling, the unpleasant feeling. Neither pleasure no unpleasure. That means we call the flat emotion. Okay, flat emotion. We call the flat emotion. Okay, when we talk about the flat emotion, it's also, is that a good thing to have no pleasure and unpleasure? Is that a good thing? Don't you think, Heidi? What do you think? When we don't have any emotion, happy or not happy?
Do I think it's a good thing?
Is that a good thing? That means we don't feel happy, we don't feel sad. Is that a good thing?
I don't think so.
What do you think, Becca?
I don't think it would be a good thing.
Why it's not a good thing?
I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like it would lead to mental illness, maybe like depression, or if you don't feel
Yeah.
happy or sad, yeah, you're
This
not
is
going to feel anything.
this is the symptom of the depression. But why? Why is that the symptom of the depression? Tell me.
I think it's because you've cut off all your feelings. So you're so tired of feeling sad that you just kind of stop feeling. You're repressing everything.
You suppress everything. That means you have no motivation.
And also, don't psychopaths have no feelings?
What?
Don't psychopaths have no feelings? That's why they're psychopaths. That's why it's so easy for them to.
No. Self-satisfied different. Self-satisfied, that means you feel self-satisfied, right?
No, psychopaths, the ones that murder people.
You mean sacrifice?
No, the psychopaths, the ones that murder everybody because they don't have any feelings, so they're able to kill people and do all kinds of horrible things.
You mean the most evil one, right? They kill
Right.
everyone. Mm.
Yeah. Don't they not have feelings? Isn't that
Yeah,
part of it?
we call them the cold blood, right?
Psychopaths.
Yeah, psychopath. Well, they do have a feeling, but they feeling very cold, right? They are very cold blood. They do have feeling. That's why it motivates them to kill, right? The one who are flat emotion, it means that the one have no more motivation to do anything. That's not good. That is different than the psychopath. No, they are not the same. The flat emotion is not the mean that this is the bad, really bad people. No, they are not really. But they have no motivation. But the psychopath, they do have motivation to kill others. That are different, right? They are very cold blood, very cold. So of course they are different. They are not the same. So when the Buddha said that if we attach to the form, right, at ourselves, because we do not see it's impermanent, we thought that impermanent, therefore we enjoy. But when things change, right, we suffer. Does it make sense? This is what we call self-delusion. And when we attach to the feeling, and you know what, feeling also impermanent, right? Feeling is not mine. It keeps changing, right? Once you attach to it, you will suffer. Doesn't matter when vậy đó. Có rồi. Chắc 2 giờ chứ 2 giờ mấy á, 2 giờ mấy tiếng chút nữa trong. Okay. So basically, when we attach to any kind of feeling, even the happy feeling, when you attach to it, what happened? The happy feeling gone, right? You sad. You feel sad. Any attachment of the feeling or the form, we suffer. Therefore, this is also the self-delusion. You understand the word self-delusion? Perception, that means the way we perceive, right? It is based on our thought. If we are negative, then also the thought, it keeps changing. They are not the same. They are impermanent. Therefore, if we attach to the perception, we also suffer. And mental from information, that means things keep changing very quickly. This is related to the psychology. Okay, I will talk to you about this later on when we have time. And consciousness, that means that we can recognize things. We can distinguish, we can understand. Okay, so these are, if we attach to any one of this is called self-delusion. So far, so good on the self-delusion? Okay. Heidi and Savina, do you understand so far?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, good. Okay, I hope you, Kevin and Vivian, you understand, God?
Yeah.
Yes, hi.
Okay, good God. Okay. So, and the second one is we call the self-view. Let's see that the politics, right? The Protestant, they are uphold on their own view, right? If someone have a different view than them, they have conflict, they fight, right? And the argument of fighting or even kill someone, right? When the opponent have a different view, so that means self-view also very bad, right? Self-pride, that means we are number 2, no one number 1. That means we always number 1, okay? And that is self-pride. That's more like ego, right? Self-love, that means the thing that we love, even though when we say that we love someone, right? But we But if that person, the one that we say that we love that person, if that person do something it hurt us, right? We don't love them. When we say we love someone, that means we love ourselves. We don't love others because we love with the condition. Okay, this is the important. We love with the condition. So that means we have to be very careful. All right. So and everything belongs to us, like the house, the spouse, the children, whatever we possess. Right. This is called the self-love. Any kind of attachment to that, we will suffer. Yet, but when we live and we know how to value whatever we have, we value while we live. And we also try to do the best to share with others as well. That is the way we should live, right? Does it make sense to you? In Buddhism, we don't say that, okay, do not value because attachment is not good. But we do not attach doesn't mean that we enjoy what we have and we also share what we have to others. This is important. Okay? So okay, this in here we have a lot of information in here, right? And the mana concept will wrap the data in here. And also if any kind of inquiry from the mind, right? For example, the mind want to contemplate, right? Want to plan, those will become the inquiry, right? The mana will, if any information in here have any kind of relate to the cell, one of the cell here, it will trigger emotion. It will trigger emotion. If we have the negative thought, right, this will trigger the negative emotion right here. Okay, that's important. That's why it's called, another name for the mana constant is called emotional affliction. Okay, due to the fourth self right here. Each one of it make the emotion affliction. And when they wrap the data here, they will put the data into the storehouse. The alaya constant we call the storehouse. It will store everything that we take from the outside world into here. And it become the knowledge, become the experience, become the calmest sheep. That means the karma, that means the action we pray from the mouth, from the mind, the mouth, and the body. It will plant in here. It will become very powerful. Okay, and also so in here, so this is just like the permanent storage. It go from one light to the other. It never ends. Okay, this is in Buddhism view. Okay. But if any information that trigger from the mind consciousness, it will inquiry, it will get those information. If the person who reading, and also at the same time they want to contemplate the meaning of the reading, you know what? They will, when the mana puts those things, the information here become the knowledge, and also at the same time the inquiry become the question right here. Become the inquiry search, right? The mana, alaya consonant will perform the search. Just like when you go to the Google, right? You type in the question that I want to know certain thing, right? And when you click on go, what happens? That means the search engine will wrap the data from the user and put inside the database, and the database will perform the search and return the result. So alaya consonant is just like the database perform the search and return the result about the contemplation on the meaning of the reading, right? It will return here, and the result, if any kind of, if the result belong to any kind of emotion, it will also trigger emotion here. And this is the emotion will trigger before the mind. Remember that. When we go from outside to here, the mind will trigger emotion. But when we go from the alaya consonant, the emotion will trigger first before the mind. Therefore, emotion will control your mind. This is important. When someone gets angry, right? the anger, the feeling of anger becomes very strong. It will control our thinking, and we cannot think. And we will react. We don't act, we react. When you act, that means you think. But when we react, we cannot think. Does that make sense to you, Rebecca? This is important, very important. Okay, so in Buddhism, we have two ways of thinking, right? The outside and the inside here. Does that make sense to you, Tammy? This is important.
Yes.
So the power, it will, once they get the result, right? They will, this one will be, the emotion will trigger based on the result. If any data of emotion contained inside the result, it will trigger the emotion right here. And it will control this guy. If not, then it's okay. Then it will either with the emotion or not, they will pass the result to the mind consciousness, and the mind consciousness load that data into the short-term memory. And at this moment, the mind be able to think, the brain be able to think, analyze the result. And that means he be able to understand the meaning of the reading. If he read over and over again, that means the data becomes very thick and very rich inside the consciousness, Alaya consciousness. And that means when he keep going back and forth like this, he be able to memorize the thing he read. Yeah. This is very powerful. Once you understand this concept, and the cognitive therapy is nothing else. This is the Buddha teaching about the consciousness only is powerful, more than the Buddha teaching more than 2,500 years ago already. Okay, and we later on I will walk you through the model of the Buddhist psychology right here, and you will learn more into here. Okay, today we run out of time. So later on, I will explain to you the difference between the mind consciousness and the mana consciousness. That means the one who coma and the one who do not coma. What the difference? Oh, when we sleep, right? And the mind consciousness, it also sleep. That means at the time, the data, all the activity inside our dream come from the Alaya consciousness and the Mana consciousness. There is no memory involved. Because the mind consciousness, that already, that when we sleep, that one also sleep too. Nothing in thinking, no thinking process. That's why when we wake up in the morning, we do not remember much, very little, because there is no memory to holding those data. Does that make sense? Okay, I hope you find this thing enjoy. Okay. All right, Victor, Heidi, and Serena, you want to ask me anything? Kevin,
I'm good.
you
I'm
good?
good, thank
I don't have any
you.
questions. Thank you.
Oh, Becca, you want to ask me anything?
Nope, I'm good. I don't have any questions.
Oh,
Thank
that's
you.
good. But you enjoyed the class so far?
Yep, I thought it was very interesting.
This is your first time listen to this kind of teaching, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. So next week, let me check. I have to go to Kentucky next week, but I have to see the time. Well, just give me 1 second. Let me see 1 second. I check my flight, and if I can be able to open the class for next week. Okay, hold on. Next week is the what? I'm looking for the flight. Ticket. Where are you? Where is the flight ticket? How come I didn't see it? I think I didn't. Oh, the Southwest. Okay. Oh, hold on. Give me 1 second. Hmm. Either 6, I don't want that. The ticket on the 25th. Okay, got it. I have it here. Okay, but I will. Pick up. Oh, in the morning. Okay, we cannot make it. Okay, next week we will be off. But hopefully the week after that. Okay, the week after that will be the January 2nd. Is that good? I think it's January 2nd is the Saturday, right? Okay, hold on. Let me check.
Sunday. January 2nd, Sunday.
January 4th is the Saturday. Oh, you want to off that week too? Oh, up to you. Up to you. What do you think? Becca, Tammy, and everyone.
I'm good with the 8th. I'll be out of town on the 2nd.
Okay, let's do the 8. Okay, let's do the 8 together. Okay, so we are up 2 weeks. Okay. All right. Sorry for that. Let's conclude this thing, and we're done for the day. I'm sorry to hold you back. All right. Bay Quyên, go ahead. Quyên.
May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with heart of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may their minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward, may all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of their endless night, because our hearts are one. This road of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise.
Thank you. Becca, do you want to join the tomorrow class 7 to 8 your time in the evening?
Is it Sunday?
Sunday, right?
I can't do Sundays. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. Nam mô Di Phật ha. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Ayuda Pakpe.
Okay, thank you, con.
Thank
Mời
you.
Phật chào thầy.
Bye, thầy.
Phật thầy.
Hay là Phật thầy.